Hi, everybody, and welcome to this week's AMA with Ledger Support. I'm Tim, and we have Brady here with us as well. And so we're going to do our best to answer any questions that you guys have. And it looks like a bunch of questions have already come through in the chat, so we'll just start from the top and work our way down. All right, I'll go ahead and just grab the first one. Okay, so it looks like we've got Irving is asking, when ADA and XRP NFT support, y'all simping on ETH-based dApps. Well, so basically, this will probably be a feature in the future. We just recently got support for Cardano for tokens, and NFTs is a whole different thing that needs to be built. So it'll just take some time. And as far as XRP, I can't say for certain on that. There's a lot of regulatory stuff going on right now with XRP, and I don't know how that's going to affect our ability to operate. So we're just going to have to hold tight and see kind of where things go from there on that. But always keep in mind that as long as there's a lot of traffic and there's a lot of demand for a network and for features on a network for Ledger Live, that's what we're going to work on building. So the features that are in Ledger Live right now are based on the current demand of our users. So keep sending us support tickets if you want to see certain features in Ledger Live, and we'll file that, and then that's what we're going to prioritize how we build Ledger Live moving forward. I hope that answers your question. I know it's kind of a non-answer, but I hope that answers your question a little bit. All right. Cool.
Yeah, I'll take the next one. So we have Dodler that asks kind of a similar question. They're asking, hey, when will you put VeChain and HBAR on your platform? And without having third parties like Hashpack for HBAR. I've been asking for almost 12 years now, or 2 years now, excuse me. I think they are strong enough to be listed properly. Yeah, that's a fair point, and that what you're alluding to is a lot of, or it is a part of the consideration process for us to adopt different networks and stuff within Ledger Live is really the how well the project is doing, if it's something that there's high demand for. So yeah, that's a great question, a great thing that you bring up. I think it's kind of still in the same boat. We are, we have a lot of things going on in Ledger Live. We do have a list of priorities of things that we want to accomplish with Ledger Live that is in line with market demand. So hopefully we'll see native support for VeChain and HBAR in the future, but HBAR is a little bit different than VeChain. So with HBAR, it would probably be even harder, in my not as technical opinion, about getting native support to be able to create HBAR accounts in Ledger Live, just because HBAR is a little bit different, right? It's hash graph, whatever the heck that is, which is a little bit different than traditional blockchain technology, and because of that, Ledger Live, our application, can't actually help derive that the Hashpack, or excuse me, the HBAR account for the first time. So that's why you have to use a compatible wallet for HBAR to be able to actually get that account for the first time, before you can port it over for Ledger Live and have it displayed in Ledger Live. So stuff like that, it's just going to take time. I'm not even sure if that's something that will be feasible for Ledger Live to do in the future. It's a little bit out of my current scope of knowledge. So yeah, but we hear you. We definitely agree. I mean, VeChain's been around for a while. It was one of the first altcoins that I really became aware of.
Same.
And yeah, and HBAR's been around for a while. So hopefully we see things like this in the future, but right now there's not too many updates.
Correct. All right. Let's see.
The Near wallet.
Near wallet. Well, that's kind of interesting. So we did just recently, as of last month, extend support for staking for Near. So I guess I would need to probably ask some more follow-up questions on that. So the question is, in case anyone doesn't see it, it says, do you want to fix a Near wallet? It does not work. This is from Mark. It hangs up and doesn't update for staking. So do you mean, would you try to execute a transaction to stake, and then nothing happens, and maybe it times out, or you get an error message or something? If so, drop that in the comments. So you can get a better idea of kind of like the issue that you're running into. But for the most part, if you're having some sort of issue like that, where it's getting hung up and maybe it's not loading properly, some things that you can do to keep in mind are like, if you have a VPN running on your computer, if you have a VPN running, that could cause issues with Ledger Live's ability to communicate. with the blockchain, and it could actually cause synchronization issues. It can cause other various issues, timeouts and whatnot, network issues. So it would really depend on the type of error you're getting and the type of issue you're dealing with. But honestly, it could also be if your Ledger Live is not fully up to date. One thing I would make sure, I would definitely make sure you're on the latest version of Ledger Live, which is 2.54.0. And I'll go ahead and drop the link to our official download page, because it's a handy thing to have in here. We found that it's best for us to provide the link for our official download page because there's so many scam websites out there, and it's so hard for us to keep up with it that it's just better to provide that. That way, there's no possibility of someone accidentally Googling something and bringing them to the wrong place. So that's our official download page right there. Maybe if you're still here, Mart, drop some more information in the comments, and when we get back down to it, we can loop back around and maybe troubleshoot it a little bit more for you.
And did you mention the Near wallet?
Oh, I did not. I did not mention the Near wallet.
Yeah, so if updating Ledger Live, clearing cache, disabling VPN, all that good stuff, if you're using one, doesn't help clear things up when trying to use Near within Ledger Live, especially Near staking. You can go ahead and connect your Ledger Nano to the Near wallet. It's actually pretty easy. The Near wallet website is pretty slick. It's just a couple clicks to connect your Ledger Nano to that. And the account that you'll see in the Near wallet when you connect your Nano is the exact same account that you're going to see in Ledger Live. The Near wallet website is just acting as a different visual to view your Near account as opposed to Ledger Live. So you're looking at the same account, and you'll be able to do pretty much everything that you should be able to do in Ledger Live, of course, within the Near wallet here. So that's at least a workaround in the meantime while you check out a couple other things. And if all else fails, please submit a ticket with us so we can check out your logs. But in the meantime, you can definitely connect to the Near wallet to do whatever it is that you want to do right now, and then we can work on getting that available in Ledger Live, so it's obviously more convenient for you. The intended goal here.
Definitely. And so we can get through a couple questions. We don't have a lot coming in, so
yeah, let's
do it.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's show it.
Let's connect to the Near wallet. Let me switch views. I'm gonna switch this view here so you can kind of see what we're doing here. All right, let me plug in my Nano. I believe I already have the Near application installed. However, I do not have any Near currently on any of my work accounts.
Unfortunately, I do need to get some.
Me too. Yeah. So we'll eventually do that. But so right here, you can see I just unlocked my Nano with my PIN. I'm going to find the Near application amongst the flurry of applications I have on here. So many applications. There we go. Near. Okay. So we got the app open. I'm going to go ahead and just set my Nano down for now. We're going to go over here to Chrome. First, go to Ledger Live. Make sure we're not connected to My Ledger, because if you are connected to the My Ledger tab in Ledger Live, it could sometimes create conflicts for connection. So you want to make sure that there's nothing currently trying to connect to your Nano whenever you try to connect to any third-party wallet. We'll go to wallet.near.org. We're going to come up here. We're going to go to Import Account, and we're going to sign in with Ledger. We're going to authorize it. So now we're getting a connection error. So
fun.
Yeah, so Ledger client is unavailable. Please connect the Ledger first. Okay, so let's try this. Let's cancel. Break the connection. Actually, let's go back to it. Up here. If we have any cookies, we got some in use. Let's remove all of our cookies to start over. I'm going to refresh. Okay. I'm going to break the connection with my Ledger, and I'm going to reestablish that. Let's see if we can force this to work. That PIN. Find the Near app. Okay. So we're back here. We are going to import existing account. Sign in with Ledger. Looks like it doesn't really want to. Let's see what happens if we try to force it. Oh, well, it worked that time. That's weird. So we got this error message saying that Ledger is not connected yet. Please connect it first. And so we hit connect, and it connected us. So
it's funny. I have seen something similar. It wasn't the same Ledger client unavailable error.
Yeah.
But I had seen something similar where I was getting an error message, and I just clicked through the error message in Near Wallet, and it just worked. It just connected me. I don't know why the wallet does that.
It's so bizarre. Now I am actually having a hard time finding, because we're connected, we are good, but it's not bringing us back to the main page.
So if you go to the home page, the Near on the top left.
Okay.
Yeah, that is wallet.
Maybe, oh, you know what? We probably have to create a Near wallet first. Here, oh, here we go. Wrong steps. All right.
Oh, do you? Okay.
There we go. Okay, so wrong steps. I was trying to skip some steps. All right, so we got our public key right here. We're going to confirm that on the device. We're going to approve it. There we go. All right, see that? That's some real troubleshooting right there.
So what happened here was this device, or this recovery phrase, and the device connected to it hadn't quite created that first Near account yet, and we were just trying to force a connection for something that wasn't really there and didn't really have anything yet. So we had to first create that account before we could connect to the website.
That's exactly right. All right, cool, sweet. Well, that is the Near web wallet. So yeah, so like Brady was saying, if you ever have any issues in Ledger Live with your Near account, you can always come back here and connect right to the Near wallet. Because remember, your crypto, your Near, any crypto is not actually in Ledger Live. It just exists on the blockchain. And so you think of your Nano, which has your recovery phrase in it, which is your private keys for all your accounts. Think of this as your actual physical key to your accounts. Imagine your crypto being in a vault on the blockchain. It can only be accessed by the bearer of the private keys, which in this case is your Nano. And so you can connect your Nano to any dApp, to any wallet that is compatible with it, and you can import your accounts into anything. This is exactly what happens when you connect to Ledger Live and add your accounts to Ledger Live. It's really no different. So yeah, so it's perfectly safe to do this as long as you never actually share your recovery phrase or your private keys. Then you'll always keep it air gapped, and it will be impossible to access this account even from this interface without having the Nano connected and authorized. All right. What else we got?
You take this ADA one because I was actually working on it a little bit earlier today too.
Perfect.
XFT009 asks, I cleared my cache and my ADA account balance was correct. Then when I go back into that account after exiting out of Ledger Live, the balance is wrong. So not exactly sure what right or wrong is in this situation. If you saw less or more or something than you expected, or maybe there were some transactions that weren't listed that you were expecting. There's a couple things going on with ADA. I think the backend service for Cardano is called Strika. Is that correct? Our backend service that we use for ADA transactions and whatnot is a third-party service called Strika, and they recently had some downtime a couple days ago. And so what was happening is you would broadcast transactions through Ledger Live, but they actually weren't getting broadcast to the actual blockchain. So you would see this transaction in Ledger Live, and then your balance in Ledger Live would adjust according to that transaction. But when you clicked on the transaction hash and went to the Blockchain Explorer, there was no transaction there. It wasn't actually broadcast to the Cardano network. So that issue should be resolved by now. I think if I remember correctly, there was an update that Strika fix that issue, and then if you clear your cache in Ledger Live, you'll see your balances go back to normal or with what they should have been prior to any transactions that you made. And you can retry sending your ADA transaction or whatever it is that you were trying to do with ADA to see if it works. And if you're stuck in the same situation where it's still not getting broadcast to the transaction to the blockchain, you can check that by actually clicking on the transaction hash and seeing if that transaction is displayed in the Blockchain Explorer. If it's not, and it says like I think it might say transaction is not found or something like that when it takes you over to that Blockchain Explorer, then you know that issue is still happening. But similar to what we just did with Near, in the meantime, you can connect your Ledger Nano to a third-party wallet for Cardano. The first one that comes to mind for me is Eternal. It's a really easy to use wallet for Cardano.
Eternal also.
Yeah, it's a great wallet. You can connect your Nano to it and manage your Ledger secured Cardano account directly in Eternal with your Nano connected to it as well in the meantime. If you have Cardano on there, we can even show what that looks like. I mean,
I actually don't, but we can easily show how to connect to the different wallets to the Eternal wallet.
Yeah, let's do it.
Even though I do not currently have any Cardano on my work let's switch back to this view. Do you want to drive here?
Yeah, sure. I'll go ahead and drive.
There you go. I'm pretty sure I have the Cardano app. If not, go ahead and install it.
Let's go ahead and check. Oh yeah, we got the Cardano app there.
Nice.
So the first thing we want to do is just search Eternal. That's all good. I think it's Eternal without an A.
Or a B.
Or a B. Trying to do some sideways typing here. So here's the wallet. They do have a Chrome extension. We'll just go ahead and go to the wallet itself. And you can open it up. And then I think you just add wallet here and you connect a hardware wallet. And we want to make sure that on the Ledger device we have the Cardano app open on the device. Whenever you're connecting to any sort of wallets or dApps or whatever, you always want the app open on the device. So right now we're working with something related to Cardano, so we're going to want the Cardano app open. If it was something Ethereum based, we would want the Ethereum app open and whatnot. So you can see Cardano is ready, so that's telling us that the app is successfully open. So then from here, we want to make sure that we select the Nano device that we currently have, which is the Nano S Plus. Don't want to use Trezor because we're not using that. And then click Next. Given some warning, I don't know what this means. Each account added increases the syncing time of your wallet. Oh, okay. Yeah, isn't Cardano like a weird blend of like UTXO account?
It's EUTXO.
Yeah,
it's still UTXO, so it takes a long time to synchronize.
Yeah, it's gonna have to synchronize with each one of those UTXOs that you're using.
Right.
So yeah, the more that you use, the more time it's gonna take to sync all of them. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and just create one account just for these demonstration purposes. And yeah, it's just telling you to make sure that your device is unlocked with the app open, like we do have. And click Next. And then Chrome is asking to pick the device that we're using, which is basically the Nano S Plus. And we get another error message. I love it.
We're getting lots of error messages today.
Unable to claim interface. Failed execute. Try one more time. I wonder.
Oh, no, it worked that time.
See, that's kind of the basis of troubleshooting, especially in like a lot of these things are so new. I mean, even things like Eternal, even if they've been around for a few years, like that's still a really new product.
Right.
Right. There's not a lot of time to flesh everything out. So, and a lot of times, a lot of these tools and platforms and sites that you're using in the crypto space, they have maybe like a handful of people working on them. So when problems do occur, they don't just get picked up right away because there's only so much bandwidth. But anyway, that's a little off topic. So if you ever run into errors like this, when you reach out to us, all we do is like click around until it finally works, and then we report back to you what we did. So
yeah, we do our best to recreate whatever error you're getting just by trying to mess things up.
Exactly. But anyway, so yeah, we got through with that, and now our Ledger Cardano account is connected here. So yeah, in your situation right now, you could do this exact same thing, and then from here, you would see the exact balance that you see in Ledger Live right now. You would see that right here in the Eternal wallet, and then from here, you can make kind of any transactions that you want from the Eternal wallet. Their send feature is right here, so if I wanted to send funds, I could just go ahead and put in the recipient address there and send Cardano from this Ledger secured account. And since my Nano is connected, I'm going to have to, of course, accept that transaction and sign it here on the physical device. So yeah, that's pretty much a 101 for connecting to a Cardano wallet.
Nice. I love when we get the errors and we can actually troubleshoot through them like live because of course, like whenever you try to recreate an error, it never works. Everything always works perfect. It's always when you least expect it that things go wrong. So it makes it really hard for us to make like demonstration videos on specific weird connection types that are just otherwise super intermittent. So it's cool that we got to catch 2 errors now live and kind of troubleshoot our way around it.
I love when somebody reports something and then I actually get that error too. Same. I'm like, oh yeah, this is a real thing.
Exactly.
Like it's nobody's doing something wrong. Like this is an actual error.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Right. See what else we got in the comments. Oh, this is good. Actually, let me not skip anything. Okay, I think we're right here. Okay, so Dwayne Dietz. I am stuck at the Ledger Nano X setup. When I select setup as new device, I just get the battery reading. Well, that's interesting. So let me pull out a Nano X.
I think what they might be referring to is battery, like the battery cannot charge.
Oh,
Is that what you think they're referring to?
Oh, it could be. Are you getting an error message that says battery cannot charge? If you're still here, Dwayne, go ahead and drop in the comments and let us know if it does it say error battery cannot charge on your Nano. If so, this is a known issue with some Nano X's, and if so, you'd have to reach out to us. One thing you can do for that is just kind of plug it into a wall outlet, a wall charger, let it charge for like up to 12 hours, a long time, and that'll usually kick things into gear and get your device to be able to accept a charge and operate as normal. But if that doesn't help, then reach out to us and we'll get you a replacement sent out. Assuming that's even the issue that you're talking about.
Yeah, sorry, I just saw like battery reading and I thought maybe they're referring to like, oh, it's just telling me something about the battery, but
Yeah, it could be.
yeah, I mean, I'm not really sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, it looks like we did accidentally skip one. I don't want to skip anybody if we can help it. So we got YouTube 671 asks about us working with MetaMask on mobile iPhone, iPad support. And yes, I can tell you that we are definitely working with MetaMask on this, and this is something I know we've been saying this forever. But in this case, this is a major major thing basically, and we have to make sure because it's so many users that are going to be using this. Like we have to make sure that it's airtight, that there's no security issues, and so I can confirm that our team is actively working with the MetaMask team to get this rolled out, and we should see it soon. But just know that if there are delays, it just means that we're doing our due diligence to make sure that there's no issues for any users. But yes, it is a very top priority, and it is being worked on. Did you want to take one of these? I feel like I've
Yeah.
been talking a lot.
No worries. Let's see, Steve's, I don't know how to say that last name, but hey, Steve asks, is it possible to get Casper onto Ledger without a PC? That's a good question because you're going to have to use a third-party wallet with Casper, and I would doubt that the Casper wallet, the third-party wallet, is you're going to be able. I don't think you'll be able to connect your Nano to it over mobile.
Most likely not.
Most likely not. Yeah, I would actually be very surprised if there was functionality built out to connect a Nano to a mobile Casper wallet. So I would say the best bet is to use a PC if you have access to it. If not, you can always use. I've suggested this before. You can, if you're in a situation where you really need to, you want to get Casper off an exchange or something like that, or really any token, you want to get it off an exchange, but you don't have access to a PC and you need access to a PC. You can always borrow a friend or a family member's PC, do that transaction, get it over to your Ledger secured accounts, and then it'll be there on the blockchain, safe in your Ledger secured Casper wallet address. And whenever you need access to it, you can again borrow that friend or family's computer or laptop if needed to have access to it. But yeah, I don't think without a desktop you're going to be able to connect to a Casper wallet, unfortunately.
I don't believe so. I don't believe it's quite there yet.
Ledger's accounts on my phone.
Oh, that's a good one. Where is that? Okay, cool. How to load 2 different Ledger accounts on my phone. Okay, yeah. Let me see what we got going on here. See if we can make this work. We don't. It's kind of hard to do mobile demonstrations with our current setup, but let me see if I can. Let me see if I can get my Nano S Plus to connect. Okay, cool. So. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna try to put my phone down here and show you how to do this on mobile. So basically, before I do that, you can definitely add as many different accounts as you want to any instance of Ledger Live, be it on your desktop or on your phone. You can connect as many different Nanos as you want and import as many different accounts as you want. And Ledger Live doesn't care; it'll accept any account that you import into it. Now, just keep in mind that if you do start importing multiple accounts from different Nanos that have different recovery phrases, then be very careful with how you name the accounts. Here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. switch to this screen right here. Let me go to my accounts page. So you'll see on this accounts page right here, I've actually got two different ETH accounts. We have ETH-S plus right here, and we have ETH-SG-S plus. And the reason I do that is because I actually have, let's go down here. Let me quit out of the Cardano app. I actually use two different Nano S pluses for my work stuff for just this reason, so I can show people this demonstration. So if you see here, here's my Stadium Goods Nano S plus, SG-S plus, and here's my normal Nano S plus. And so these two devices both have different recovery phrases in them. So if I were to try to access my Stadium Goods account with this Nano, it's not going to work. It's going to give me a error message saying that the recovery phrase doesn't match with the current device that's connected. And I'm going to show you what that looks like real quick. So we're just going to try to do a simple receive function in the incorrect account. And you'll get this. This is the error message that you'll get. So if you do start adding multiple accounts from different devices, just know that if you ever get this error message that says, please check that your hardware wallet is set up with the recovery phrase or passphrase associated with the selected account, that's just telling you got the wrong Nano plugged in, so or connected to your phone. And it's going to be the exact same error message on mobile as well. Hopefully we can get a better setup in here to show you more mobile stuff. We're definitely working on that. But for now, this is pretty much what it looks like. Obviously, it looks different in the UI on mobile, but the error message you'll get is the same. And the steps to add your accounts are actually the same as well. It's just, again, a little bit different UI, but same steps. Here. Shot.
Perfect. It looks like actually Dwayne Dietz had got back to us. They said, no, I just get battery at 100%. Okay. So, yeah, sorry. So you were on the right track.
Okay.
Definitely. Correct me if I'm wrong. Even if you don't have the Ledger Nano X set up yet with the recovery phrase, you can still scroll through to see. If you hold both buttons down, you'll go to a mini command center.
That's what I think is happening.
Yeah, that shows the battery.
Yeah. So it's kind of weird with the Nanos when you first get started. Here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. There's actually I can show you several things. This is a Nano S plus. You were talking about possibly a Nano X, but it's going to be the same thing. All right. So I'm not even on the right shot. So you guys can see what I'm doing. All right, let me get this Nano out of the way. Okay, so right here from the main screen. Now if you were on the main screen and it says welcome to Ledger and you haven't even set it up yet, you would still be able to get to the control center or a version of the control center. So if you hold both buttons down right here for 3 seconds, see both buttons at the top, you're actually going to get to the control center. One common mistake that new users use, and I actually did this myself with my very first Nano, so please don't feel bad. I've beaten myself over the head for days trying to figure out why. Anyway, so to make the selection, you have to quickly tap the buttons. But if you ever hold them for too long down, you're going to go to the control center. And now what's really confusing about this is, let's say you're inside of an app, like the Stellar app right here, for instance, and you hold both buttons down, you're still going to go to the control center. But it's like a miniature version of the control center that doesn't even give you access to that settings. You have the option to lock the device or close the control center. So I'm going to close that. So if you're ever in this weird loop where you can't figure out how to get back to your main dashboard, just keep scrolling to the right, keep going quit or go back until you get to your main page, and then you're going to be on your control center. So for your case, setting up your Nano, you're likely going to the mini control center that you're allowed to go to before your device is fully set up. And there is an option there that shows the battery life. Here. Oh, wait. This is a Nano S Plus, so there is no battery life for the Nano S Plus.
But in this place there is.
But in here, there is one for the Nano X that goes to the battery life. So that's probably what you're seeing. So you're going to want to back out of that and then make sure to not hold the buttons down for too long. And you should be able to get past the point that you're at right now.
Yeah, because Dwayne Dietz, I think is what you're doing is when you see set up as new device, right? You're holding the buttons down too long, and then it's popping you to that command center that shows you your battery. So it just needs to be a quick simultaneous click on set up as new device. Cool. What else do we have here? Oh, YouTube says, appreciate your feedback and thanks for holding these sessions. Absolutely, YouTube. Thanks for coming in. And thanks for coming in. And please keep coming back anytime you have questions for us.
Yep, definitely.
Philip Mazzola asks, can you import Yori Ada wallet into Ledger? I love
That's
this
a good question.
Yeah, like, we do get asked this every now and then.
Yeah,
and
it's a great one.
it's good to cover. So I'm gonna take this in one direction. I think this is the right direction. I'll align with you, Tim, if you think we're thinking of the same thing.
Okay.
This person probably has a Yori wallet address already, right? That they're using that came from maybe a 12-word recovery phrase from Yori wallet.
Yes,
Correct.
that would be my assumption as well.
Yeah. So I'm assuming that you're already using Yori. You have funds in there. You have a wallet address in there. A while back, when you first set up that wallet, they probably gave you I think they probably used 12-word recovery phrases as well. So maybe you have that written down somewhere. And now you have this Cardano account in Yori wallet that has a bunch of funds in it, and you want to know, hey, can I just take this account and just secure it with my Ledger device? And the answer is no. It doesn't really work that way, because that Cardano account that you're using, the wallet address that you see in Yori wallet, derived from a recovery phrase that the Yori wallet generated pretty much for you. So it's a 12-word recovery phrase, and when we use the term recovery phrase, that's the string of words that you write down. Like I said, it's probably going to be 12 words for the Yori wallet, and that is like the seed, right? That's the master seed to all of your accounts on the blockchain. So an infinite list, pretty much, of cryptographic addresses can derive from that one master seed. And your Ledger Nano device is going to give you a completely different seed. It's going to be one that derives from with 24 words. You'll have a 24-word recovery phrase rather than a 12, and it's a completely different list of accounts than the one you currently have in the Yori wallet. So you can think of your 12 and your 24 words as seeds, like actual seeds from like a plant, and all of the roots of that seed are your accounts on the blockchain. So you have two separate seeds with two separate root systems right now, and you can't pluck a root system off of one of your seeds and just paste it over to another root system of another seed. It doesn't really work that way. So instead, you're going to have to set up your 24-word recovery phrase, get your Cardano address that derives from your Ledger 24-word recovery phrase, and then you're simply just going to send all of your ADA or Cardano tokens that live in your Yori wallet over to your new Ledger Cardano account that was derived from your new Ledger 24-word recovery phrase. So it's not as simple as just securing that current Yori wallet address with Ledger. It just doesn't really work that way. You can't just yank it over to Ledger and make Ledger secure it. You'll have to actually just set up the new account and send your funds over to that new account's wallet address. So I hope that helped clarify. You want to fill in any gaps?
Yeah, just one other thing that I like to add for this is when you're talking about the difference between the hot wallet and a cold wallet, and how you didn't already cover this.
No, I
didn't.
didn't.
Okay,
Nope.
Just making sure.
Good. I'm glad you did too, because
Yeah.
that's like one thing I didn't include. I was like, oh, I got to get off my soapbox here.
Yeah. Let me hop back onto that and continue, because it is actually really important. Here, let's go here so I can kind of show you what I'm talking about. So when you set up your hot wallet, I like to use MetaMask as an example. And it's actually, God, my MetaMask is already set up perfect. Let's get back on the Ethereum network so it looks normal. So you can see I have this account right here labeled hot wallet, do not use. It's actually hard to say that. There we go. Hot wallet, do not use. That's because this is actually the initial wallet that I created when I first set up my MetaMask. And I cleared everything out, all my other accounts. That way I can show any demonstrations for you guys, how to add accounts to MetaMask. It's a common question that we get, but it also works really well for this. So your recovery phrase in this hot wallet is actually stored right here in the application files. And so we're gonna go settings. Let's go advanced. They don't make it easy to find, but I know that there's a way to do it. Security and privacy. There we go. Actually, it is pretty easy. Okay, so reveal secret recovery phrase. So I can type in my password, which I'll do. I'm going to go ahead and reveal my secret recovery phrase.
And this is demonstration purposes only. You would never do this.
You would never do this.
You would never show your recovery phrase on any website, on any live stream ever.
Exactly. But this right here, so I'll never send funds to this wallet. This is why I have it labeled do not use. This is my hot wallet that you have to install, you have to create when you install MetaMask. So you can see it keeps the recovery phrase right here stored in the actual application. And for a seasoned hacker or even just a clever piece of malware, this is nothing to extract this information from your computer. And so while it doesn't actually happen like it's like if you have funds on your hot wallet, it's not like it's like, oh my gosh, it's going to get stolen right now. But the possibility is there that it could happen if you click on the wrong site, if you install the wrong application, if you get the wrong virus on your computer, your funds on a hot wallet could easily be compromised. So I'm going to just close this. And now I'm going to show you right here. Let's go ahead and open up the ETH app. Let's import my ETH account from this Nano into Ledger Live. Because as we discussed before, Ledger Live doesn't have my crypto. Only the blockchain does. Here's my key to my crypto vault. So I'm going to unlock my crypto vault and I'm going to share it with MetaMask so that it can also see what's inside my wallet. We're going to connect to Ledger. Continue. Nano S Plus. So right now it's deriving all my wallet addresses. You'll see here 0.041574 ETH is what it's showing. We go back to Ledger Live. We go back to the correct account, exact same amount. So now Ledger Live and MetaMask are pulling this data from the same place. And this Nano is the key to letting that happen. So I'm going to authorize it. I'm going to go ahead and unlock this. I'm going to share that. So now what MetaMask has right now, they only have the public wallet address of the ETH account. The security phrase, the recovery phrase, the seed phrase, is still stored inside the Nano, and it never touched MetaMask. MetaMask was never able to have visibility on that. The only information that we shared with MetaMask is the public wallet address for the account, which can be used to pull up that account from Public Block Explorer. I'll show you. So let's copy the ETH address. Go over here to Etherscan. Search for it. And you'll see it's the same wallet, same value, same tokens to link. And that's it. You can even see all my transaction history if you want to pull up my work wallet address. That's all public information. So, and this cannot reveal your recovery phrase. So this is what a cold wallet is. It means that your recovery phrase is completely offline and never shared with the internet. And so it's impossible for a virus or a hacker, even a hacker that has direct access to my computer, even a hacker that has direct access and full control of my computer while my Nano is plugged in, still cannot, and unlocked, still cannot steal my recovery phrase from this device. The only way that this can happen is if you physically authorize with your Nano the transaction. So that's the power of cold storage right there.
Yeah, nicely said.
That was a soapbox right
No,
there.
I loved it.
So, but it's an important one, I think.
That is a perfect way to cover how you can use cold storage devices. And sometimes I don't even like to refer to Ledger as cold storage because it is so flexible, right? Of course, it's cold storage, but not in terms of like you should just send things to it and it's this thing that you never really use a lot. Like, yeah, you can use your Ledger for a lot of things that you would typically use hot wallets for because it is that flexible. But it was a great way. It's a great thing to show that, hey, there are these other even more flexible applications that you can use your Ledger Nano with to have the security of cold storage, but also the flexibility of hot storage, hot wallet, or what have you.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely.
More questions?
Sony Black is asking about the price of Rep Luna in Ledger Live. Don't you have to use like Rebel Station? Wrapped Luna.
So you use Rebel Station for Luna Classic.
For Luna Classic.
But I think you still use Terra Station for mainnet for Luna 2.0, the new Luna.
Okay.
I believe so.
Got it.
But I could be wrong on that. These things change very often. But Wrapped Luna, it sounds like they're probably referring to ERC20 token version of Luna. So Wrapped Luna on the ETH blockchain. Let me see if I pull anything up for that.
Maybe we don't support it.
We may not. Yeah, we may not.
Not coming up here in our
Really?
token list.
Yeah. So basically, it could be the case that we no longer support the Wrapped Luna token. We'd have to do a little bit more deep diving on that to find out. So definitely open up a support ticket if you want us to really deep dive that. But basically, if you have wrapped Luna as a token in your Ethereum wallet or in your Polygon wallet, if it's a ERC20 token that's compatible on the Polygon blockchain, you can still store those in your Ledger Live. And kind of like what we talked about before, although it can be a little distressing if Ledger Live is showing an incorrect balance or no balance in some cases, like you sent a token to your ETH address and it's not showing in Ledger Live. You can definitely always just connect. Actually, I just did it. But if you here, let me go back to MetaMask. So here's my Ledger One. So if you go down here, you're on the Assets tab right here, and you go to Import Tokens. You can import any custom token address that you want. And let me kind of show you what it looks like. So right now, it doesn't look like there's anything in this, even though I saw on Etherscan a minute ago that there were 2 Link in this account. MetaMask isn't showing that right now. So let's fix that. Let me show you how to add a custom token to MetaMask. Go to Etherscan. First thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to copy your, I don't know if you saw me do that. Let me reopen this to show you. So you copy your public wallet address to clipboard from MetaMask or from Ledger Live if you're getting it from there. It's easier from MetaMask though, since you're already adding a token anyway. Search for it on Etherscan, and that's etherscan.io. And then you'll see here, I've got my 2 chain links. So Etherscan is confirming that there are 2 Link in this account. I'm going to open that up. And then over here to the right, you'll see there's a token contract address. All ERC20 tokens have a token contract address. All tokens have a token contract address. And you can get the one from the Ethereum network right here from Etherscan. So this is the best way to do it, because you'll know for certain that you're adding the correct contract address. Like when customers ask us, hey, I'm trying to add this token to MetaMask, first thing I ask for is your public wallet address. And then at that point, it doesn't really matter what the token's even called. I can just look and see the one that you're talking about and just copy that contract address for you. So we'll copy that contract address. We're going to go back to MetaMask, Assets tab, import tokens down here at the bottom. We're going to go custom token, and then I'm just going to paste in the contract address. And now MetaMask already knows, because it's pulling this information straight from probably Etherscan as well, but from whatever block explorer they pull their information from, it also knows this is Link, and it's going to fill in these other 2 fields for me, the token decimal. So I'm going to go ahead and add that custom token. Now you can see there's my 2 Link. Let's import that. Let's go back. And then now, under my Assets tab, you see that I have my ETH here and my Link. You can add any token contract address to MetaMask. It's very versatile. So if you ever do send something to your Nano and you're like, no, I know that I sent that to my wallet address and it's not showing in Ledger Live, first things first, verify on Etherscan, make sure it did show up, and then just pull that contract address, add it to MetaMask, and you're good to go.
Perfect.
Sweet.
What else we got here? Ryan Joff asks, when is Airweave available for Ledger Live? That's a good question. I don't think I've heard any updates about when Airweave will be available in Ledger Live. I know we support the ERC20 version of Airweave, so you can just send that to your Ethereum address if that's something that you're holding. But native Airweave, I'm not sure. Do we even have an Airweave app yet? That would be the first place.
That's the first place I usually look.
I don't think we do.
I don't believe so. Let's verify. Let me switch back here so you guys can see what we're doing. All right, so we're back in Ledger Live. I'm going to go ahead and exit out of the ETH app. Actually, no, I'm not, because I want to show you Ledger Live is it's really getting much better. And so it's going to actually probably exit out for me. Mm-hmm. It used to just immediately throw an error if you had an app open and say something's wrong. But now it actually does some stuff. So we're going to allow the secure connection with Ledger. All right, let's see if we have an Arweave app already.
We do not. All right. Yeah. So that's typically where these processes start. Is the Airweave community will develop an Airweave app for the Ledger device. So at Ledger, we typically don't build really any apps that you see in our app store. There are some that we do build, of course, like Bitcoin and Ethereum and some like the really major players. We actually do develop that app ourselves and we maintain that app ourselves. But some of these other altcoins and maybe these smaller projects, we actually don't. We know we would not have the bandwidth to be able to create thousands of apps for all of these different networks. So, what we do is we are building with Ledger as an open source environment. We provide the framework on how to build a Ledger Nano app, and the community developers for those projects can go out and build their own app for Ledger. And when they're ready to publish that app with Ledger, they can submit the app to us, and our development team will go through all of their due diligence to make sure that the app is completely up to Ledger standards. All the T's are crossed, dots are I's, I's are dotted. And if our team sees any discrepancies or things that just aren't up to our standards, we'll push the app back, wait for any adjustments to be made, and ultimately with the goal to get the app developed, or excuse me, published in Ledger Live. So, but again, that all really starts with the community developers. So if you're somebody who is in the Airweave community, and you're really excited about the project, definitely reach out to your community developers and whatever communication platforms that they use, and see where they're at. See if they have plans to get a Ledger app going. And if they do, that's really going to be that first iteration to integrating with Ledger is them getting that app published. So
awesome, well said. All right. God. This is an interesting question from Leo. Leo asks, I've heard Ledger will have a local commercial presence in Brazil. Is that true? Super excited about this. I actually have not heard, but it may be something that's coming down the pipeline. But I don't believe there's been any official announcement for it. Maybe you can search around. Are you referring kind of similar to how in the United States and Canada our products are sold at Best Buy, like a commercial retailer? If so, then I don't know about that.
Yeah, the only presence that I'm really aware of is just our reseller. We do have one reseller in Brazil, and you can find that if you go to ledger.com/reseller. You can see the one reseller that currently is in Brazil. That's the only kind of commercial presence that I'm aware of. Yeah, I don't think, at least it would be something a little bit outside of the tech support scope. We wouldn't really be aware of any sort of marketing or sales pushes like that, but. If you heard it somewhere, maybe so, but nothing that we've heard about yet.
Nothing. Yep. So what Brady was just talking about, ledger.com/reseller. This is a great tool if you're wanting to, because if you buy from a reseller that's already located in your country, then you can potentially work around like weird customs issues. If your country has really strict customs laws or a really heavy duty tax, you can sometimes it's easier to go through the third-party reseller than it is to try to order it from our website and ship internationally. So to get there and check your, you go to ledger.com/reseller. So for Brazil, we're in America right now. So the Americas, Brazil, and this is where Brady pulled this information from. So you can just go right here and just go directly to the website. And this is an authorized reseller for our products. So it's safe to purchase from this website.
Yep. Yeah, and some of these resellers, they do. I don't know exactly how the sales process works, so I don't really want to speak outside of my scope. I don't really know how exactly to partner with resellers. But yeah, you may be able to get some around some of those customs fees, but also I think the resellers sometimes their products are priced higher because they themselves had to pay those customs fees to get the products into the country. So you may be paying a little bit extra on top for the device, but then you yourself don't have to deal with any of the custom stuff. The device is already in your country, ready for you to purchase. And actually, this is a good segue to do a little chat about purchasing from resellers. Like, is that a safe thing?
That is actually a really good topic. Yeah. You want to head into it?
Yeah, because I feel like it's something that comes up a lot. A lot of folks are a little bit apprehensive to purchase from a reseller or even to purchase from our Amazon store. And if any of you folks are tuning in from the United States, you'll notice that your local Best Buy probably carries Ledger devices now. If you are somebody tuning in from the EU, probably not because it's late at night. But I think the store is pronounced Boulanger. I'm not sure, but it's the really popular electronics store in France and parts of the EU. But anyway, stores like that too are also carrying Ledger devices. So it's totally safe to purchase from any of those sources, whether it's a commercial store, whether it's a reseller, or it's from our Amazon store, because you do go through a pretty lengthy process whether you purchase directly from us or from one of these resellers, to ensure that your Ledger device is genuine. The first thing that you ever want to check when you get a Ledger device, whether you get it from us or from anywhere else, is that the contents of the packaging don't include any sheets that have a recovery phrase already printed on them, or with the device that's already set up with a PIN code ready for you to use, right? That's your first red flag that this is
Major red flag.
yeah, that this is not a legitimate device. In that situation, you'd want to reach out to us and we can help figure out what's due next there. But even outside of that, even if you're like, hey, well, I didn't get anything sketchy in the contents of my packaging, but I'm still nervous. I purchased this from a reseller or somewhere else other than Ledger. How can I be sure that like the firmware, the operating system inside isn't tampered with? And that's where Ledger Live comes into play here. When you install Ledger Live, which is our native application to manage your crypto, like we've shown here today, when you connect your Ledger to Ledger Live, it's actually, when you connect it for the first time, it'll scan your Ledger Nano for any malicious firmware on the device. So you'll go through a genuine check where it actually checks for anything that is not genuine Ledger operating system. So if it sees anything it doesn't like, Ledger Live is going to alert you immediately that, hey, this is not good. So, on top of, there's checking the contents of the packaging and going through that genuineness check in Ledger Live. Those two things can put you in a good peace of mind that you can use a device purchased from a reseller or anywhere outside of just ledger.com.
Yep. Being kind of seasoned now with Ledger products, I would, for instance, feel comfortable if some random person on the street handed me a Nano.
Yeah.
I would be like, oh, great, okay, yeah, I'm just gonna check it out, and if it's locked with a PIN, I'll just intentionally enter the PIN in 3 times to factory reset it, and then I'll set it up with my own seed phrase and see if it passes the genuine check, and if it does, that device in my mind is safe to use.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, the parking lot Nanos is definitely a kind of an ongoing joke in the office. Yeah. Like if you just found one in a parking lot, we'd all be comfortable. Use it? Yeah. We'd be comfortable using it.
Yeah.
All right. I think we already talked about the Near wallet a little bit. We'll definitely look into that. Some Bluetooth sync stuff from CMGZ. You want to cover that one?
Yeah. Let's right direction. Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. All right, so CMGZ asks, 510 asks, hi guys, so I can't get my Nano X to sync with Bluetooth. Any suggestions? I've tried all current options available. Thank you. So I'm gonna be upfront with you. Bluetooth is a pain sometimes to get connected, but there are some things that you can do to make sure. Let me plot a Nano X, what the settings are gonna look like that I'm talking about. Move this out of this shot right here. All right, cool. We got a Nano X. Go ahead and turn this puppy on. Turn my pin real quick. Okay. So very first thing, and this may be pretty basic, you're probably going to be like, yeah, duh, Tim, I already tried that. But very first thing I like to make sure is definitely go into the settings menu and make sure Bluetooth is enabled. So it is on this device, you'll see. And then one other thing that you'll see here, you'll see that you'll see the device name, the Nano X C7. So let's go out of this menu real quick. So one of the first troubleshooting methods that I recommend to people is to go into their settings menu, and then we'll go to general. Technical difficulties here. Security. There it is. So in the security menu, you'll see reset pairings. So this is going to reset any pairing that you have on your device. So it's going to completely reset. So if you, this is especially the case if you have already paired your Nano X with another device, another phone, or with your current phone, and then something changed like OS update on your phone or firmware update on your Nano or something that may have changed something, you're going to want to go in here and reset the pairings and start over from scratch. And additionally, on your phone, in the Ledger Live application, you want to go into the settings there and reset all Bluetooth pairings there as well. You want to start over completely from scratch. And then furthermore, and this part you're probably not going to like, most people don't, but it can actually help, especially with iPhones that have a lot of the different devices. Like, you got your AirPods, you got your MacBook, you got your all your different devices, your speakers that are all connected to your phone. For whatever reason, we found that forgetting all pairings, removing everything, and also resetting pairings on your device and resetting all pairings through Ledger Live, usually that kicks things into gear and will allow you to connect via Bluetooth. And one other thing that I did not mention, which is another honestly, this is like 90% of Bluetooth connection issues probably, is go into here and check to see what firmware update you have.
You want
Oh,
to switch the?
thanks, Brady.
Yes, sir.
All right, there we go. Let me start over again. All right, I just powered it off, so we're gonna power it back on. So you're gonna go in, you're gonna make sure that you're on the most up-to-date firmware. And the reason for this is being out of date on your firmware, even just one firmware update out of date, could potentially mean that you're no longer synced up with the most current OS for the iPhone or for the Android or whatever device you're trying to connect to. And so you want to make sure you're on the most recent firmware version. Let me show you. So you go to settings, you're going to go to general, you're going to go to firmware version right there. And you're going to make sure you're on 2.1.0. And if you're on anything below 2.1.0, then I definitely recommend connecting to Ledger Live Desktop and getting that upgraded. And that's actually another reason why people have people that are sole iPhone users that have Bluetooth connection issues eventually, is because you actually cannot update your firmware from an iPhone yet. The connection type for Lightning port to USB-C is not compatible for the Nano. You won't be able to connect that way. And that's actually the only way that you can install a firmware update because of the data transfer size. You can't do it over Bluetooth. It won't work on the Nano. So Brady actually talked about this before, but if you don't have a computer, for anybody else listening to, if you ever have that issue where it's like, well, shoot, I need to update my firmware, but I don't have a computer and I only have my iPhone, how the heck do I do that? Well, you can connect to anybody's computer. You can connect to a friend, family member. I've even helped people go to an internet cafe or public libraries that allow applications to get installed, because you can actually update your firmware on your device without ever even touching your crypto accounts or even getting those anywhere near that computer, just by simply not adding your accounts in. So you can download, install Ledger Live, connect your Nano, update the firmware, uninstall the application, and be gone without a trace, basically, and have your Nano updated with the latest firmware. So, yeah, so those are the steps I usually go. You're probably listening right now, and you're like, "Yeah, Tim, I've tried all that with the Bluetooth, and nothing works." I understand. Bluetooth can be very finicky. If that is the case, reach out to us. We're probably going to have you go through those same steps that I just described. But if it does turn out that your Nano X simply cannot connect to Bluetooth, then we can actually show that this Nano X cannot connect to Bluetooth. You may be eligible for a replacement. So reach out to us, and we'll do what we can to help.
Yeah, and I will say that one thing, when you update the firmware, at least our most recent Ledger Nano X firmware, when you update the firmware, it actually resets that Bluetooth
That's right.
setting to disabled. So if you just updated your Ledger Live firmware, then your Bluetooth setting is disabled on the device. So first things first, make sure that that's enabled, because that is likely the problem if you recently updated firmware.
One point.
Let's see. Will NFTs display on Ledger Stacks? It's a great question. We have been playing with the Ledger Stack prototypes. We don't have the actual devices yet, but just some prototypes we've had the chance to play around with. And you can absolutely display your NFTs on the Ledger Stack screen. It's actually, you can display any image really on the Ledger Stack screen. So you connect your Ledger Stacks to your phone via Bluetooth, and you'll have the option to be able to upload an image from your phone to your Ledger Stacks. So of course that would be really any image that you want, whether it's an NFT, an image that is an NFT, or really any other image. So yeah, you'll absolutely be able to display NFTs on your Ledger Stack. I think we're on this guy right.
Philip. All right. So, any plans to have Ledger be a validator for dot staking? Dot staking is terrible. dot staking is very complicated.
Yeah.
Yes, we get a lot of users that have issues with dot staking. Yes, dot is crazy with the staking process. There's a lot of ins and outs to it. It's really easy to make mistakes and then not know where you're at and how to undo the mistakes that you made. But luckily, we have had a lot of practice with dot staking issues. So if you are running into issues, reach out to us. Or if you're having a specific issue that you would like us to talk about, like something that you've experienced and you want us to kind of get into a little bit. Oh, I just realized we are kind of at time right now, but we can go if you're okay. We can go for a couple minutes longer, maybe.
Yeah, I'm totally fine.
Yeah.
We got things to go on. Yeah, dot staking is interesting because the number one issue with dot staking and why it's so hard isn't really even specific to Ledger Live. It's just the staking process itself. There's the minimum threshold that's required to earn rewards while staking dot. You can stake initially, like the minimum amount of dot to stake period is 100 dot, but you need almost 3 times that amount staked to actually even earn rewards from your staked amount. So if you don't have up into the threshold of dot staked, you won't be earning any rewards even though your dot is staked. So the minimum threshold right now is 293.7 dot, which is almost 3 times as much as the minimum needed to stake. You have to stake a lot of dot to earn any sort of rewards, because if you're below that threshold, it'll be staked, but you won't be earning any rewards. And that minimum threshold is moving up. I mean, I swear on like a weekly or at least a monthly basis.
It does.
So there might be a situation where you were earning rewards because you were right at that threshold, but 1 week later it moves up and now you are unknowingly not receiving any rewards for your stake. So yeah, it's complicated network. It's definitely a complicated staking protocol, but yeah, if you have any issues specific to staking in Ledger Live, definitely let us know. We'd be happy to talk through them.
Absolutely. Let's see. Let's just do a couple more to kind of wrap this up. That's an interesting question. Actually, we should actually, we're going to jot this down for a feedback request. Will the ledger get a widget showing your balance on the home screen without having to go into the app iOS? Well, so it's a little tricky, actually. If you're talking about the screen of your actual Nano, likely not. That would be a very complicated thing to try to incorporate into the Nano, and because they're not really designed to work that way. However, it is something that we can definitely look at. But if you're talking about like a widget that like is like a companion, like a Ledger Live companion that you can install on your phone or on your computer that can kind of like display your balance, then that possibly could be a feature in the future that we can look into.
Yeah, on the home screen of the Nano itself, I don't see that. I don't think you would want that, because if you would see the balances of your Nano, that would mean that there is some sort of internet connection there to be able to pull in that information. I mean, you may be able to get like token balance information, but you probably wouldn't be able to get the fiat value information, right?
No, I don't believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, and I could be totally wrong. I'm kind of just speculating here because it's an interesting.
Yeah. Because your Nano, it actually only has very limited memory inside of it. It has enough memory on the secure element chip basically to store your recovery phrase, and that's pretty much all that goes there. You have your firmware, which I believe that is also. I could be wrong about that, but either way, so you have your firmware, you have your recovery phrase, and you have the Nano apps, and that's really all that your device has space for. So to be able to have something like that, again, what Brady said, it would have to be able to establish connection to the internet, to be able to pull in data, to be able to send your wallet address and pull in the data that of what your wallet contains. And so that I see as being probably a pretty big security flaw.
Yeah, we probably wouldn't want that. I mean, I'm again speculating. Maybe if we had some sort of different device in the far off future that had a lot more memory, maybe there could be like local caching where the last time you connected to Ledger Live, it'll just kind of cache that memory of all of your balances, just so you can like at least look at what was blast there the last time
Yeah.
you connected to Ledger Live or something.
That actually does sound really cool, to be honest.
Yeah, it does, but again, it would never happen on the Nano. The Nano is
Right.
just the memory on it is just way too small for anything like that to be feasible.
Mm.
But maybe on a device that has more memory,
Yeah.
maybe. So yeah, good suggestion, and thanks for throwing that out there.
Yeah. All right. What do you think? One more?
Yeah, one more. Why not?
All right.
Let's
Cool.
see. Let's see. Are we? Oh, let's read this one right here.
Right.
Pradeep.
Okay, cool.
Muscala. I bought Ledger Nano S almost 3 years back. Not yet opened the new box. I just checked whether the product received or not, and my query is, will this new Ledger Nano S still work or not? As I never opened it. Yeah, absolutely. Your Nano S will work just fine out of the box, whether or not you've used it for years. With the Nano S specifically, it doesn't have a battery, so it will require a wired connection to a power source, your computer, or your Android phone, for it to power up. So as soon as you plug it into your Android phone or a desktop computer, you'll be able to power up your Ledger Nano device, initialize it for the first time, get your 24-word recovery phrase for the first time, and be good to go. The first thing that you're going to want to do, though, when you fire up that device is head over to the My Ledger tab. You're going to install Ledger Live, which you can get from your Google Play Store or from ledger.com/start. You'll install Ledger Live, the application first, and then you'll plug your computer into your device or mobile phone, open Ledger Live, and then from inside Ledger Live in the Manager tab is where you will update the firmware. And the first thing you want to do is update that firmware is the first thing. The first thing you want to do is update that firmware. Yeah, you can't get that sentence out. Because since it's 3 years old, you're going to have really old firmware on the device. Now, don't know about devices that are 3 years old, but it's possible your device is so old that maybe the firmware is not able to be updated. And if that is the case, if your firmware is, I think, 1.3 or older, then you can't update the firmware, and just reach out to us and we can help accommodate you in any way that we can. But that shouldn't be an issue here. I think you should be good to go. So yeah, long story short, your device will be good to go even after 3 years.
I do actually see one more that I would like to just real quick. It's Texas Life asking, hi, if my Ledger only came with one seed phrase card, should this be cause for concern? From a security standpoint, no, as long as you didn't, as long as that one seed phrase card didn't already have a seed phrase written on it. If it's blank and everything else is normal and you set up your own device and you had no issues passing the genuine check and your device is genuine, you're good to go, then you're definitely good to go. However, you should have gotten 3 recovery check sheets. We actually do have, we offer a PDF to, I think, download. Is that?
Yeah, here, I can, if you want to swap over.
Yeah.
What's the one to go over?
There we go.
Yeah. Like Tim was saying, you should have gotten 3, but who knows? Maybe the person that packed your device had an off day and didn't get the other 2 in
Forgot how
there.
to count.
Yeah, so apologies for that. But yeah, if you do want more recovery free sheets, we do have a PDF. If you just Google something like Ledger, I lost my recovery. I am surprised at how good I am at typing sideways here.
Yeah, not bad.
Did I get it? Yeah. If you just Google something like this, then we do have this article, I lost my 24-word recovery phrase in the Ledger Help Center. Now, at the very bottom of this article, not a lot of people know about this. I actually just found out about this the other day.
I just found out about this.
It's actually kind of hidden. We should make this a little more prominent.
Yeah.
But we do have a PDF right here that you can download. And this PDF contains the recovery sheets. So if you want some extra recovery sheets, you can head over to that Help Center article on the Ledger Help Desk and print off your own recovery sheets.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. That seems like a pretty good place to stop, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. All right. Well, so I think we're going to wrap it up, guys. I really appreciate y'all coming out and asking these amazing questions. Honestly, this is a ton of fun getting here and just being able to just show you things and answer your questions. We love doing it. We're going to keep doing it every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're going to try to get some more guests up here, too, to talk about some other stuff if you have any other questions. But yeah, Brady, do you have anything you'd like to...
Yeah, I think we're good. I would just say, remember, not your keys, not your crypto. That recovery phrase sheet that we just showed you, that should never touch anything related to the internet. Never take a photo of it. Never store it on a file on your computer or anything. Just keep that thing only in the physical world and in a safe and secure location.
Yep. Well said. You're right. Yeah. Not your keys, not your crypto. Stay safe out there.
Yeah, thanks guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.